Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekakadash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shah being the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Now, when you look at America and the crime and the murder rate and the uh, statistics of violence in this country and the deaths that go on in America, you can easily see that this is the shadow of death, the atrocity that the American military and armed forces have done throughout the world and in America with the violence of the police brutality. It's easy to see that America is the shadow of death. But when you go into the scriptures, let's go to Psalms uh, 23. Psalms 23, it says, verse 4, yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And even verse 5, let's get that. You prepare the table before me in the presence of my enemies. Okay, now, King David, when you're looking at his life and what he was going through with these Edomites, let's go ahead and get that, and then we're going to jump into Job. But let's get this King David, what he was dealing with the Edomites. 1 Samuel 21 and 21 and 7 say, now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord, and his name was Doeg an Edomite, the chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul. Okay, so he had a leader. He was the chiefest of the herdmen. He was one of the top men of Saul. So Saul was working hand in hand with the Edomites. Okay, 22:9 and say, then answered Doeg the Edomite, which was set over the servants of Saul. See, he was a leader. And said, I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nod to Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub. Okay, so David was dealing with his enemies. He was dealing with this wicked house of Saul. And the house of Saul was being ran by the Edomites. He was set over the servants of Saul. He was the chiefest of the servants of Saul. You see, being led by the Edomites. When you go into Psalms 52, verse 1, King David brings it up. He said, when Doeg the Edomite came and told Saul and said unto him, David is come to the house of Ahimelech. So David was thinking about his situation in the Psalms. And he was being letting it be known who his enemies. He was talking against his enemies, and he was talking against the people that he was dealing with. And he was dealing with the Saul, who had a leader of his servants that was a Edomite. You see? And so this is why he was saying, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Now, if the book of Job was written before King David, he could use those terminologies because this is the terminology that Job used. Now let's get the context of Job. Job chapter 1, it said there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. Okay, what is the land of Uz? Let's go to Genesis 36. I think around about the 20 something verse. 28, it says the children of this land are these Uz and Aram. So Uz was who? These are the sons of Esau, who is Edom, and these are their dukes. So this was the son of Esau. This is the land of Uz, where the Edomites dwell. Then when you another witness in um Lamentations 4 and 21 say, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwell in the land of Uz. See, the land of Uz is where the Edomites dwell. This is the Edomites' land. So when you're going to Job chapter 3, look at what it says in verse. Now, Job chapter 3 pretty much is Job cursing his birthday, in which you got all of these people that's in America, in the valley of the shadow of death, that's celebrating their birthday and worried about what's going on their birthday. And Job dedicated the whole chapter 3, which is, he didn't write no chapters, but in this section of his writing, uh, or his book, you have um the birthday being cursed, being a curse, pretty much. But let's get to the point. It says in verse 4, it says, let that day be darkness, let not God regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it. Okay, so Job saying, don't let the light shine upon my birthday. Verse 5, let darkness and the shadow of death stain it. See, they stained it because uh these Edomites stained it. Now, let's see here. He curses out his birthday all the way till you get to the next chapter, but verse 7, he runs into the not being innocent, that these people are being punished when they being put to death. See, the shadow of death. When Esau gets sick on them, or they have to deal with Esau, this is a punishment. Verse 7, it say, remember, I pray you, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Even as I've seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. So those who are plowing iniquity and sowing wickedness, they gonna reap wickedness, which is the Edomites is gonna come after them. They're gonna have to deal with the Edomites. Let's get this in uh let's see here. Malachi. We want to talk about this wickedness. Verse 4, it says, whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, meaning the beginning and the end of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So these Edomites are the border of wickedness. They are the wicked. And so when these Israelites deal with um, wickedness, they're gonna get punished by these dragons. Okay. So anyway, let's go into chapter 9 and 10. Because when you get to chapter 9 and 10, it talks about the Edomite directly. 24 say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, given to the land, to the hand of the Edomite. See, even in Job, he was living in their land. See, he covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, where and who is he? See, if it ain't the rulers of this world, the elite rulers of this world, who is it? And the rulers, what they did in 1492 during the Renaissance, the rebirth of the Edomite nation, they whitewashed everything and covered the faces of the Israelites. See, and they start calling people colors and all kind of stuff. But we know that to be the so-called white man, the self-proclaimed white man. This is who he calls himself. Now, when you jump over to the next chapter, in 21, 22, it say, "Behold, I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death." A land of darkness, as darkness itself, and the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness. So, you see, America, they don't have order. See, their laws is one thing one day, then they change the law and make some kind of change in the law. And that's what the fourth beast was said to do in Daniel 7 and 25. But I want to bring in Habakkuk in Revelation. Habakkuk identify the Temanites. Now, before I get to Habakkuk, let me go back to Job and point out something real quick. Chapter 3, when Job is cursing out his birthday, look at how chapter 4 starts. The next chapter starts with the Edomites, Teman. It said, "Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said." So you got chapter 3 is talking about the shadow of death, you see, and cursing out their birthday, which nobody in the history of mankind supported this birthday notion more than these Edomites. But the next chapter pretty much starts off with what the Edomites is saying. See, when he's talking about the shadow of death, and when he's talking about the innocent, people don't die being innocent. See, they dying because they're guilty of wickedness. Now to get this Habakkuk to show how the Edomites is called death. Now let's jump to chapter 3. The third verse that God came from Teman. So there go the Temanites. The Teman, the grandson of Esau. See, it identifies who this book is talking about. Verse 5 it says, "Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarged his desire as hell, and is as death." See, he is death. So the land, his lands that he possessed, is the shadow of death. Is his shadow. Now look at verse 6. Now to go back to verse 5, it says, "Cannot be satisfied, and all nations is gathered unto him, and heap unto him all people." This is he going into everybody's land, and what is he doing? He rape, robbing, murdering, and stealing their stuff. See, this is the proverb that's going to be said about him. So he is a major part of death, because he is causing people in all kind of lands to pretty much perish and die. Look at verse 6. It says, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him?" See, he gonna be taunted when we say the so-called white men, all they do is rape, rob, and murder in the planting and pillage and colonize people. It said, "Woe to him that increased that which is not his." See, he's stealing. He's going to these countries, stealing the resources, rape, robbing, and murdering. See, this is who Esau Edom is. Okay. And just to get to the point, Revelation bring out more about these Edomites. Revelation 6 verse 4 say, "There went out another horse that was red. Edom means red. And power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they shall kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Now Esau, one of his blessings was to live by the sword. See, thou shalt live by your sword. That was his blessing. So this is the talking about the Edomite. The black horse, that's talking about the sea hip, the grain of rice, um, and the famine. And then verse 8, it say, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse. He is only one nation on the earth that's pale. That's the so-called white man. And his name that sat on him was Death. See, this is this man operation. And hell followed him, and power was given unto him over the fourth part of the earth. What's the fourth part of the earth? The shadow, the valley of the shadow of death, America. That's who the fourth part of the earth is. To kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. See, this is all talking about these Edomites. They represent death. Okay, let's get this also. Look at 1 Corinthians 15:26. It say the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. See, this enemy is Esau Edom. And he's Jacob's main enemy throughout the scriptures. Exodus 17 and 16 talk about him. The Lord was going to war against the Edomites forever. Obadiah, it ends with uh, the Israelites judging the Edomites in the kingdom of heaven. See, they going to be the last enemy. And verse 18 in Obadiah talks about not any one of the Edomites is going to remain. All of them is going to be put to death. And that's when death will be the last enemy. That's when death will be destroyed, when the Edomites are destroyed. You see how that go together? But I'm going to leave it there. One of the main points I want to bring out. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rekakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, descendants of slaves, scattered around the globe on slave ships and through many captivities. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.